Today we are going to discuss nervous system. Nervous system is a master controller and communicating system in the body. Means communication is a verbal and non-verbal. There are two types of communication. One is verbal, which we speak and listen, and one is with the movement of our eyes and face and fingers. We tell something to someone. Every thought, action, and emotion reflect its activity. Right? It's single the body through electrical impulses that communicate with the body cells. Its signaling and responding abilities are highly specific and rapid. Its signaling and responding abilities are highly specific and rapid. The structural classification of the nervous system, we divide it into two main nervous systems, central nervous system and peripheral. There is also a third nervous system, which is autonomic nervous system. But here first we will discuss about the central nervous system. Central nervous system is consist of brain and spinal cord. And spinal cord is a continuity of the brain. Then we talk about the peripheral nervous system, nerves outside the brain and spinal cord. Outside the brain means in hand, chest, lower body, upper limbs, lower limbs, right, into the organs. But this is not present in your skull, periphery. Organization of the nervous system, if we'll go through this, we'll find the how the arrangement of this nervous system. Here we see the nervous system. First, we talk about the central nervous system, which is consist of brain and spinal cord. And peripheral nervous system is consist of cranial and spinal nerves. The spinal nerves, one not the spinal cord. The nerve which is coming out from the spinal cord is known as spinal nerve. The peripheral nervous system is consist of cranial and spinal nerves. These peripheral nervous system has got two type of nerves. One is a sensory, we call it afferent, which give you a sense of touch, temperature, pain, and vibration. And it will go to up to the cerebral cortex of the brain, and from there the response comes out. We call it motor nerves, which bring the message from up to down into the body. And sensory from down, from body to up means in brain. Sensory nervous system. Sensory means sense organs. Organs feel the pain. Kidney feel the pain. Heart feel the pain. Intestine feel the pain. Stomach feel the pain. Right? Because we have got sometimes abdominal pain. Sometimes we have got body ache. Sometimes we have got pancreatic pain. Sometimes we have got a ulcer pain. Sometimes we have got a myocardial infarction, heart pain, angina, heart pain. Then motor function is control the function of all the muscles of the body, either is a voluntary or involuntary. Voluntary means on your own intention you can move your fingers. We call it somatic. Skeletal muscles, like the muscles on your skeleton, on your bone. Then autonomic nervous system. This is involuntary. Without your permission, it is working. Without your intention, it is working, like contraction of the heart, heartbeat, secretion of the enzymes from different organs, working of the pancreas, metabolism. It's all work automatically. Cardiac and smooth muscles glands, which secretes, like I have just mentioned you. There are two type of autonomic nervous system is sympathetic, one is parasympathetic, that control the cardiac and smooth muscle glands. Smooth muscles means organs, nervous tissues. Comprise of two types of cells of the nerve. One is neuroglia, supporting cells, which is surrounding the neurons. The insulator, adhesive, protector, and nourisher. These nerve cells provide insulation, means the current cannot leak out from the nerve. Adhesion means it will attach one neuron to the another neuron, neuroglia, and protectors, it protects the neurons, and nourisher, it will provide nutrition to the neuron. Neuron, what is neuron itself? Nerve cells that transmit impulses. Means produce electrical current and pass on to the next neuron. Then the brain's neurons are surrounded with blood-brain barriers. Astrocyte cells are present, which is neurological cells, which surround the whole neurons and protect that it won't allow anything to enter into the brain, into the neurons, because that can cause harm to the neuron. That's why it's not allowed to restrictive barriers around blood vessels in the brain created by astrocytes. Astrocytes are the neuroglias. It's a special cells. Prevent most blood-borne toxins from entering the brain, but not an absolute barrier. Means after our metabolism, lot of toxins are thrown out of the body, but they are in the circulation. And from that circulation, it can reach to the brain, but brain barrier does not allow these toxins to reach to the brain neurons. Nutrients such as oxygen and glucose can pass. Only these two things can come into the brain, plus carbon dioxide, alcohol, nicotine means cigarette, and anesthetics. Nerve tissue supports cells is known as neuroglia. I have just mentioned you. You can see here how the neurons are protected by the astrocytes. Neuron is surrounded all over from the astrocyte cells. This yellow color is neuron, and astrocytes is covering that neuron, not allowing anything to enter to the neuron. Abundant star-shaped cells, ब्रेस न्यूरॉन मीन्स पकड़ लेते हैं न्यूरॉन को, ब्रेस सीने से लगाने को कहते हैं. फॉर्म बैरियर बिटवीन द कैपिलरी एंड द न्यूरॉन्स. ठीक है, न्यूरॉन और कैपिलरी के दरमियान में आ जाते हैं जहाँ से ब्लड सप्लाई जाती है. कंट्रोल द केमिकल एनवायरनमेंट ऑफ द ब्रेन and they do not allow any chemical, means neurotransmitter or anything, to be entered into the neurons. Nervous tissue support cells are, there are 6 type of cells which support the neuron. Nerve tissue means neurons. Microglia, we call it, and this is the shape, yellow color. There is a neuron, then there is an astrocytes. Microglia, spider-like, मकड़ी के जाल की तरह होता है. Phagocytes means engulf all these waste toxins, dispose of debris, वहाँ से कचरे को निकाल देता है. Debris कहते हैं कचरे को. Epidermal cells, line cavities, as it is shown here in figure. Epidermal cells, line cavities of the brain and spinal cords, circulate cerebrospinal fluid. It is present in the cerebrospinal fluid. Then we have got the third one, oligodendrocytes. First microglia, second epidermal cells, third is oligodendrocytes. Produce myelin sheath, nerve fibers in the central nervous system. And you can see over here oligodendrocytes nerve fibers, myelin sheath, process of oligodendrocytes. Then we have got satellite cells, the fourth one, protect neuron cells bodies. Then we have got Schwann cells, form myelin sheath in the peripheral nervous system. So you can see Schwann cells are here, forming myelin sheath, means covering on the nerve fiber, shown in longitudinal section. Cells body of the neuron, satellite cells surrounded the neuron. The neuron was fully protected. So there are 5 Schwann cells, satellite cells, macroglia, epidermal cells, and oligodendrocytes. Nervous tissue neurons. Nerve cells specialize in the transmit messages. What neuron do? Transmit the nerve impulses from one neuron to another neuron. Major region of the neurons. Neuron is consist of cell body and process. Cell body, nucleus, metabolic center of the cell. Process, fibers that extend from the cell body, that is axon. Cell body, you can see over here, shown in the figure. Cell body, nucleus, large nucleolus. There is a nucleus, this is a nucleus over here. I can show you the arrow. This is nucleus, right? And inside the nucleus is a nucleolus. Neural anatomy, extension outside the cell body. The cell body, dendrites conduct impulses. This is all dendrites. Here is a dendrite. This long peaks. These are the dendrites. And in the center is a cell. This one is a cell body, and this is nucleus. And inside nucleus is a nucleolus. Axon conduct impulses away from the cell body. The electrical impulses produced over here, and then it will move from here into the axon. This is axon. This is the whole axon. This is axon terminals. Axon and nerve impulses. Axon and in axonal terminals. Axonal terminals contain vesicles with a neurotransmitter. So here, in these axon terminals, which is shown over here, here, and here, in this also, this is known as axon terminal, and this contains the neurotransmitter. When electrical impulses comes over here, it will open and release the neurotransmitter in synaptic cleft, which is the gap between the two neurons. Axonal nerve impulses, axon and in axonal terminals. Axonal terminals contain vesicles with neurotransmitter. Axonal terminals are separated from the next neuron by the gap known as synaptic cleft. Synaptic cleft is a gap between the adjacent neurons. Means between the two neurons there is a gap, and that gap is known as synaptic cleft. Synapse is junction between the two nerves. Where the two nerves meet is known as synapse. And the gap is known as synaptic cleft. Now it is here is a figure of complete neuron. You can see multipolar neuron, many extensions from the cell body. This is multi because there are more than one these extensions. इसके हाथ कई निकले हुए हैं. We call it dendrites, and then cell body. This is cell body, and this is all axon, and this is axon terminals where neurotransmitters are reserved and released when the electrical current hits over here. So it will release over here, and this gap is known as synaptic cleft, and then another dendrite will start from here, and we call this gap as a synapse. Structural classification of the neuron. Neurons are of different shape, multipolar, we have just seen, bipolar. Cell body is in the center. Dendrites are here. This is bipolar. Then axon. Then we have got a unipolar. Unipolar neuron have a short single process leaving the cell body. Dendrites, cell body, short single process, axon. This is all axon. Peripheral process or central process. This is known as this. So you have seen three figures. This is unipolar, remember the shape. This is bipolar, remember the shape. And this is multipolar, you should remember the shape. Central nervous system. Now we talk with the central nervous system. CNS develops from the embryonic neural tubes, means when the baby grow into the womb of mother, that is uterus, the first development is a formation of the embryonic. We call embryo when it won't take the shape of a baby. It is like that when there is a zygote, sperm meet with the ovum in the uterus, it will form a medulla, which is 16 division of the cell into 16, and then we call it trophoblast, which is 64, and that then it will take a shape of the neural tube, which has got three membranes: endoderm, mesoderm, and ectoderm. The neural tube become the brain and spinal cord. So from the neural tube is developed brain and spinal cord. The opening of the neural tube becomes the ventricle, and when where the neural tubes are open, that will cause the formation of ventricle. That is first ventricle, second ventricle, third ventricle, and fourth ventricle. In third ventricle, there is a choroid plexus, which is like a flower, from where it comes out the CSF, cerebrospinal fluid, oozing. Four chambers within the brain, that is first ventricle, second ventricle, third ventricle, and fourth ventricle, filled with the cerebrospinal fluid. Region of the brain, if you lay, it will divided into certain parts. Top is known as the cerebral hemisphere. The middle is known as the diencephalon. The lower is known as the cerebellum, and most lowest is known as the brain stem. It's the adult brain. Cerebral hemisphere, if you'll see, pair left and right. Hemi means half. Sphere means round. Half round here and half round there. It means the brain is divided into two parts. Half on the left side and half on the right side. Paired left and right superior part of the brain include more than half of the brain mass. The surface is made up of the ridges, gyrus, and grooves. Means पहाड़ों की तरह ऊपर नीचे आपको नजर आ रहा है यहाँ पे. That is the groove and ridges. Ridges का मतलब है उठान, groove का मतलब है गड़े. Sulci is known as groove and gyri is known as ridges. So the shape of the brain is shown over here. This is the gyrus, which is ridges in blue color. Here, this one, and this is depth is sulcus. This is sulcus. Inside depth is sulcus. So making this shape, and which is represented over here in the fishes. Lobes of the cerebellum. Fissures, deep grooves divide the cerebrum into lobes. Surface lobes of the cerebrum: frontal lobe, parietal lobe, occipital lobe, and temporal lobe. There are four portions of the brain. The frontal side is known as frontal. Above your ear is a temporal, and above your side is known as parietal lobe, and on the back side is a occipital lobe. Here you can see in figure lobes of the cerebrum. This is this is a frontal lobe, right? And this is occipital lobe, or the back. This is inside parietal lobe and lower is temporal lobe. Here is a temporal lobe. Then we have got other part of the brain. You can see this is the third ventricle from where the CSF comes out. Then we have got hypothalamus, the important thing, which has got temperature, thalamus and hypothalamus, which control all the hormones, 9 hormones, which are released from the pituitary. Below the hypothalamus is a pituitary gland. This is small. Then we have got a temporal lobe. This is temporal lobe. Then we have got pons, medulla oblongata, from where it is started, spinal cord. This is the cerebellum at the back. This is choroid plexus of the third ventricle. In this ventricle, there is a flower-like attachment which secretes CSF. So this figure is very important figure. You must go through it and learn what are the parts of the brain. A specialized area of the cerebrum. Now the brain top has a somatic sensory area, receive impulses from the body sensory receptors. This area receives all the sensory information coming from your body, like pain, temperature, vibration, pressure. And primary motor areas send impulses to the skeletal muscles, and from the top, from the brain cerebrum, the order to move the muscles comes from the cerebrum. Then we have got a Broca center at the temporal region in our ability to speak. Sensory and motor area is divided over here, and you can see that primary sensory area sequence and primary motor area. If you see brain like this in both hemispheres, motor cortex, precentral, somatic, sensory cortex. This blue one is the sensory one, and red one is a motor cortex. Cortex means top of the brain. And this control all of your body. You can see with the figure, your intestine is sensory is controlled from the cerebral cortex. This receive, then pharynx, tongue, teeth, lips, face, nose, eye, thumb, finger, hand, forearms, elbow, arms, head, neck, trunk means on the back, hips, legs, all get, and genitalia. Genitalia means male and female of sexual organs. They all get the sense from the somatic sensory cortex. And the motor area, if we go through it, is controlled by hip, trunk, shoulder, arms, elbow, wrist, hand, finger, thumb, neck, brow, eye, face, lips, jaw, tongue, and solid. A specialized area of the cerebral area involved in spatial senses, gustatory area, taste. On the tongue there are taste buds, and that will give you the taste. Then visual area at the occipital area of the cerebral cortex, and it has visual area which gives you a power to see something, vision. Auditory, hearing, this area is also present. Then there is an olfactory area which give you smelling sense. You can smell the perfume, you can smell the bad things, right? So we call it olfactory area. Interpretation area of the cerebrum is speech. There is a on the cerebrum there are centers: speech center, language regions, Wernicke center we call it, language comprehension, Wernicke center, general interpretation, Wernicke center. This is all a Wernicke center. Here we can see spatial area of the cerebrum. Primary motor area is here. Top means skeletal muscle function. Premotor area, then frontal association area. It will link the thoughts and everything. Then we have got a Broca area, motor speech area, means your tongue cannot move without the permission of this area. Language comprehension, which is known as Wernicke center, how to make the words. Then olfactory, over here is smell. Then over here is the auditory, and here is a visual, right? Then general common interpretation area, shown with the dots. Visual area you have seen, auditory, the somatic sensory area, the body sensory area, somatic means body. So this here, layer of the cerebrum, gray matter and white matter. What is gray matter and white matter? Gray matter means where all the cell body means dendrites are accumulated. Outer layer composed mostly of the neuron cell bodies. White matter fiber tracked inside the gray matter. Example, white matter is made up of the axons. Corpus callosum connect hemisphere. Corpus callosum connecting both hemisphere. Basal nuclei, internal island of the gray matter. Diencephalon, site on top of the brain stem, above the brain stem, enclosed by the cerebral hemisphere. Made up of three parts. Diencephalon has three things: thalamus, hypothalamus, and epithalamus. Epi means above, hypo means lower, above the thalamus, below the thalamus. This is your hypothalamus. This is the thalamus, right? And above the thalamus is the epithalamus. Thalamus. Thalamus surround the third ventricle, the relay station for sensory impulses. Transfer impulses to correct part of the cortex, location and interpretation. What is the function of the thalamus? Surround the third ventricle. Number one, relay the station for sensory impulses. Means it will take the sensory impulses and pass on to the concerned part of the brain to take motor action. Transfer impulses to the correct part of the cortex means frontal, occipital, temporal, or parietal, where you want to send the message. For localization and interpretation, where there is interpretation and then it will give you the response. Hypothalamus, what is the function of hypothalamus? Under the thalamus, important autonomic nervous system, help regulate body temperature. First of all, the most important thing is the body temperature regulation. Control water balance of the body, regulates metabolism. Metabolism is a catabolism and anabolism, formation of the cells and destruction of the cells. An important part of the limbic system, emotions. The pituitary gland is attached to the hypothalamus, the most important gland of the body. Epithalamus forms the root of the third ventricle, houses the pineal body and endocrine gland, include choroid plexus from the cerebrospinal fluid. Choroid plexus, as I mentioned, is present in the third ventricle and produce the cerebrospinal fluid. Brainstem. the lower portion of the brain, which is in green in color. This is all brain stem. This is brain stem. Attached to the spinal cord, part of the brain stem, midbrain, pons, medulla oblongata. Here is a, you can see, here is a pons, or here is a medulla oblongata. And we call it brain stem, which contains the midbrain, mid portion of the brain. Midbrain mostly composed of the tract of nerve fibers. This is consist of nerve fibers. Nerve fibers means nerves are going up and down, ascending and descending. Have a two bulging fiber tracts, cerebellar pudendals, has a four rounded protrusion corpora cordigemina, reflex center for the vision and hearing is present in midbrain. Pons, the bulging centers part of the brain system, mostly composed of the fiber tracts, includes nuclei involved in the control of breathing. Breathing center is there in the pons. Medulla oblongata, the lowest, medulla oblongata, the lowest part of the brain, merges into the spinal cord, includes important fiber tract, contain important control centers. Means in medulla oblongata, the lower part of the brain stem merge into the spinal cord, means this medulla will convert into spinal cord. Include important nerve fiber. Here also is nerve fiber, descending and ascending both. Contains important control centers. इसीलिए कहते हैं गर्दन पे नहीं मारना चाहिए, गर्दन पे ये चीजें होती है. क्या क्या होता है? हार्ट रेट कंट्रोल यहाँ से होता है, मेडुला ऑब्लोंगेटा. ब्लड प्रेशर इज रेगुलेशन 120/80. Breathing 16 times per minute. Swallowing and vomiting centers are there at the medulla. It's very important. Reticular formation. This is most important part of the brain. This blue color. This is reticular formation. You can see over here. Everything is given in these figures. Diffuse mass of the gray matter along the brain stem. So at the brain stem, it is a collection of the gray matter involved in motor control of the visceral organs. Means control the motor function of all the organs of the body, like heart, kidney, pancreas, intestine, stomach. Reticular activating system play a role in awake sleep cycles and consciousness. Means sleeping and awakeness is controlled by the reticular formation. Then we talk about the spinal nerves. We have got 31 spinal nerves. There is a pair of spinal nerves at the level of the each vertebra for a total of 31 pairs. Left and right, it will go, it's a 31 pairs. Spinal nerves are formed by the combination of the ventral and dorsal root of the spinal cord. It comes out from the spinal cord. One is dorsal, means back side, and ventral is front side. Spinal nerves are named for the region from which they arise. Means we give the name to the spinal nerve according to the origin of that at the anatomical position. If it is in the neck, we call it cervical nerves. If it is in the chest, we call it thoracic nerve. If it is in lumbar region, we call it lumbar nerve. If it is in back hip region, we call it sacral nerves. And here the number is given over here: C1 to 7, T1 to 12, L1 to 5, and S1 to 4. Anatomy of the spinal cord, spinal nerves. Spinal nerves divide soon after leaving the spinal cord. Dorsal rami serve the skin and muscles of the posterior trunk, and ventral rami form a complex of net plexus for the anterior organs. Here you can see dorsal nerves, dorsal roots ganglion. Ganglion is a bunch of neurons, spinal cord, ventral root, ventral ramus, and dorsal ramus. This is a shape. Now we'll see example of the nerve distribution. Here in the axilla, we can see the cervical 1 to 7 coming from the neck, entering into the shoulder and arms. In the same way, in the legs it starts from the lumbar region and penetrate into the lower side of the legs, thigh, and other back side of the autonomic nervous system. Now we come to the autonomic nervous system. The involuntary branch of the nerve system consists of only motor nerve divided into two divisions. Means autonomic nervous system, the involuntary, means it is not under your control. It works automatically, involuntary, without your permission. Consists of only motor nerves divide two divisions, sympathetic and parasympathetic. Differences between the somatic and autonomic nervous system. Soma means body. Neurotransmitter, somatic always use acetylcholine. Means the body muscles always use which neurotransmitter? Acetylcholine. And autonomic use acetylcholine and epinephrine or norepinephrine. The autonomic nervous system use, as we have mentioned before, one is somatic, one is autonomic. Here, just I will show you. Here you can see, this is, when we classify it, here is somatic, voluntary, skeletal muscles. Autonomic, involuntary, cardiac, smooth muscles, glands. And it is divided into sympathetic and parasympathetic. Understand? Now you come over here. Somatic always use acetylcholine neurotransmitter. Autonomic use acetylcholine, epinephrine, and norepinephrine. Nerves. Somatic, one motor neuron. Autonomic, preganglionic and postganglionic nerves. Pre means before the nerve coming out from the spinal cord. When it comes out, it is a preganglion, and then there is a ganglion, bunch of the make a ball type shape, round shape, and then nerves again start emerge out from that, and that is known as the postganglionic nerve. Effectors organs, somatic skeletal muscles, and autonomic smooth muscle means intestine, stomach, cardiac muscles, glands, all these. Here you can see comparison of the somatic and autonomic nervous system, central nervous system, peripheral nervous system. Then somatic nervous system, which neurotransmitter it will use? Acetylcholine, where? At skeletal muscles. It is shown over here clearly. You must remember this, that acetylcholine is a neurotransmitter which is used in somatic nervous system, where? At the level of skeletal muscles. Here is given skeletal muscles. Come on, autonomic nervous system. One is sympathetic, one is parasympathetic. In sympathetic, the acetylcholine is used in preganglionic area, and in postganglionic norepinephrine is used. So there are two types of neurotransmitter are used at sympathetic system, acetylcholine and norepinephrine, pre and postganglionic area. Now we see where it is used. For example, kidney. On the top of the kidney is a suprarenal gland or adrenal gland. And at the medulla, top portion of the suprarenal gland is known as cortex, and inner side is known as medulla. So adrenal medulla where acetylcholine acts on adrenal medulla. In the same way, sympathetic at postganglionic area, the neurotransmitter used is norepinephrine and epinephrine, where it is used on blood vessels for the constriction of the blood vessels. Now, an acetylcholine used at the adrenal medulla to secrete adrenaline from the suprarenal gland or adrenal gland. Parasympathetic division, preganglionic, it is used as a acetylcholine, and in post, sorry, not at the pre, yes, at the pre-ganglion and post-ganglion, both sides, and parasympathetic is used as acetylcholine. So you can see over here, the complete description is a very good figure. And here, if you come, here it is on the skeletal muscles, acetylcholine. Here is smooth muscles, for example, blood vessels. Here is sympathetic glands, like this is suprarenal gland, and here heart in parasympathetic system. Anatomy of the sympathetic division, origin from the T1 through L2. In T1 L2, what is that T1 L2? You can see over here. Here is T1. Here is a T1 and here is L2. This from T1 to L2. What happened? Origin sympathetic division arise from T1 to L2. Ganglions are at the sympathetic trunk near the spinal cord. Short preganglionic neurons and long postganglionic neurons transmit impulses from CNS to the effector. Neuroepinephrine and epinephrine are neurotransmitter to the effector cell. See the figure and try to understand the things. Sympathetic, we talk about the parasympathetic division. Sympathetic, over here it is shown, visceral effector system. Here are the nerves penetrating to the small intestine. Anatomy of the parasympathetic division. Originate from the brain stem S1 and through S2, sacral 1 and sacral 4, sorry, 2. Terminal ganglions are at the effector organs. Always use acetylcholine as a neurotransmitter. Limbic system. Now we come to the limbic system. We just discuss some of the limbic system first. Central perimeter system figure is also given over here. You can go through that. Here is a figure of autonomic and somatic nervous system. You can see that cranial nerve, cervical, thoracic, lumbar, sacral. This is all mentioned over here. The control is also given over here. Face, lungs, heart, intestine, stomach, pancreas, liver, and large intestine, and rectum, anus, uterus, all controlled by that. Parasympathetic ganglions over here, cranial nerves. There are 12 cranial nerves which directly comes out from the brain. I will show you that cranial. Here is a cranial nerve. If you go to the anterior side of the brain, अगर आप अपनी उंगली ऊपर तालू पर लगाएंगे मुंह के अंदर डाल के तो जो ब्रेन का बेस है इस पे होती है ये cranial nerve. There are 12 type of cranial nerve. First is optic, then olfactory, Just a minute. First is olfactory. I will explain each one. Second is optic nerve. These are the cranial nerves. Third is oculomotor. Fourth is trochlear. Fifth is trigeminal. Sixth is abducent. Seventh is facial. Eighth is vestibulocochlear. Ninth is glossopharyngeal. Ninth and tenth is vagus. And 11th is accessory. And 12th is hypoglossal. Now I'll tell you what is the function of each of them. Number one is olfactory, which is responsible for the sensory of the nose. It means whatever you smell from your nose is controlled by the olfactory. Then second is optics nerve, which is sensory, which gives you the sense in eye to see. Then third is oculomotor, all eye muscles except those supplied by the fourth and sixth. So third oculomotor controls some of the muscles of eye movement. Then fourth, which is trochlear, superior oblique muscles, means when you see on the side, that is oblique muscles controls the eyeball movement. Sixth is a abducent motor, external rectus muscles of the eye. The eye is attached with the four muscles, rectus muscle, and giving movement up and down, left and right. Then we have got a fifth trigeminal, which is giving us face, sinuses and teeth sensation. Then we have got abducent, sixth one, external rectus muscles. Then we have got a seventh, which is a facial, which will give you a supply to the face. Then eighth is vestibulocochlear, which is giving sense to the vestibules, and cochlea is a rounded जलेबी की तरह होता है बोन, इसको देता है सेंस कान के अंदर. Then we have got a ninth cranial nerve. Ninth is a glossopharyngeal, which gives a sense and motor function to the pharyngeal musculature, pharynx, sound box, and coast part of the tongue, tonsils and pharynx for sensory, और motor जो है pharyngeal को देता है. Then we have got the 10, that is a vagus. Heart, lung, bronchi, gastrointestinal tract, इस सब को देगा motor function, और sensory देगा heart, lungs, bronchi, trachea, larynx, pharynx, gastrointestinal tract and external air. Then we have got the 11th one, which is accessory, which gives the sternocleidomastoid and trapezius muscles of the neck and at the back of the neck. There are two types of muscles. One is sternocleidomastoid, which gives on the neck movement, left and right, and another is trapezius, which is the back of this lower side of the neck, and that also helps in the over here. This has been shown here. This is sternocleidomastoid. This is trapezius muscle. This is trapezius muscle. This is sternocleidomastoid muscle. Then we have got the 12th one, that is hypoglossal, gives motor and sensory function to the tongue. So you have seen that these cranial nerves are coming out directly from where? From the brain. This is not the spinal nerves. This is coming out of the brain. Brain के अंदर से निकल रही है सारी के सारी. आप देखिए, ये वन यहाँ रखी हुई है, यहाँ पे आपकी नाक होती है बाहर, नाक के ऊपर अगर अंदर आप जाएं स्वाब डाल के, तो जो आपका नाक का अपर हिस्सा आएगा जो पैलेट की तरफ होगा, ऊपर वाला तलवा जो होता है आपका तालू जो होता है, वहाँ पे जो हड्डी होती है, यहाँ पे जो बोन होती है, उसमें सुराख होते हैं, और उस सुराख को कहते हैं क्रिविलिफॉर्म प्लेट. उस पे ये ऑल्फैक्टरी लोब्स पड़े हुए होते हैं. ये दो लोब्स है ना, ये दो ये जो लोब्स है ये वहाँ रखे हुए होते हैं। तो ये सूंघने के, यहाँ से आप सूंघते हैं तो इसमें सेंसर सेंस होता है और ये आपको सेंसरी नोज में सेंस देता है सूंघने का. So you can differentiate between a good smell and a bad smell. This is all about the autonomic cranial nerve. Then we talk a little about the protection of the brain, how brain is protected. The brain is confined in a skull, which is a bony. Then under the bone, there are three type of layers of the membrane are there: thick membrane and thin membrane. First thick membrane is, these membranes are known as meninges, and under the meninge, between the meninges are the cerebrospinal fluid, which help to protect the shock to the brain. One bone protects the brain and another is spinal cerebrospinal fluid. Then inside the neurons, also protected by the blood-brain barrier, which are six type of cells: astrocytes, microglia, oligodendrocytes. All these six type of cells, they protect the brain neurons. If we talk about the cranial meninges, there are three-layer protective membrane. First membrane is known as a dura mater, composed of two layers. Then periosteal outer layer attached to the bone. This dura mater with a sheet, double layer. One layer is a periosteal layer, one is a dura mater. This periosteal layer attached with the skull bone, and then start the dura mater. Then we have got a meningeal inner layers closer to the brain. Two layers fuse except to enclose the dural sinus. Then there is a second layer, which is arachnoid layer, spider web-like. Then we have got delicate follows convulsions, means it's not only smooth. Convolutions means pia mater, which is attached with the brain, which is not smooth. There is a gyrus and sulcus, and over there, on the top of there is a thin membrane, which is known as pia mater. Here you can see the first layer is a dura mater, second layer is an arachnoid mater, and the third layer, which is directly attached to the brain, is a pia mater. This is pia mater. This is pia mater. This is arachnoid mater, and this is dura mater. Here also they have shown. This is skull, bone, then there are layers. Dura mater, pia mater, arachnoid. You can see over here. These are your hair on the head. Under the hair is a periosteum, means bone, then bone of the skull, then dura mater, then there is an arachnoid mater, and then there is a pia mater. So this is the layer of those membranes which protect the brain. Cranial meningeal spaces, epidural space is known as above the dura mater, potential space superior to the dura mater. We call it epi. Epi means above, sub means lower. Subdural space, potential space between dura and arachnoid mater, means under the dura mater, the space is known as subdural space, and their base is arachnoid mater. Then we have got subarachnoid space filled with the CSF. Below the arachnoid space is filled with the CSF. Cerebrospinal contains the blood vessels supplying the brain. Here you have a very clear picture. This is a false cerebri, which separates. It's a thick type of muscular which separates the left hemisphere from the right hemisphere. Cox cerebri we call it. Then this is a superior sagittal sinuses, stress sinuses, and then tentorium cerebelli, crista gale of the ethmoid bone, cavernous sinus, internal carotid artery, false cerebellum, cerebrospinal fluid. The role of the CSF. Cushion and insulate delicate nerve tissue. The purpose is to cushion means give a support while you are sitting on a chair. If it is made up of wooden, you put a cushion on that, those wood should not cause pain to your bottom. So it giving a cushion and insulate delicate nerve tissues. Means in between. Cushion and insulate delicate nerve tissues, give buoyancy to the brain, float into the CSF. So the brain weight is about 250 ounce, but you feel only 25 ounce on your shoulder, the weight of the brain, because brain is hanging, floating like a ship in a sea. The brain is floating in CSF, and we call it buoyancy, which we must learn in physics in intermediate. Exchange of gases take place over there, oxygen, carbon dioxide, nutrition and waste. CSF formed in the choroid plexus in third ventricle of the brain, as I have mentioned you. Right. So we have seen we have gone through the complete nervous system, and I have already sent you these slides, as well as I have sent you two more slides, endocrine system, and I am going to send you reproductive system slides also, and that will complete our syllabus. Let's see if the situation of COVID will subside within weeks. Then we have to go through the physically revision of all the course. So if you have any query, you can ask through our WhatsApp connection, WhatsApp call system, and any message from the WhatsApp. I have already given you the assignment, and you should prepare those topics in the form of groups, then send it back to me on WhatsApp or email. Email I have already mentioned you. If you don't know my email, you can note down. My email is dr dot marub at gmail.com. On this email, you can send your assignment. So I'll check those assignments and then allocate you the number according to your input in that assignment.